welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Ivy Hartman. Joining me in the studio is Elizabeth Cowie. She's the blogger of Eating Local in the Lou. She's also a registered dietitian. And we've been talking about some of what Eating Local in the Lou is, the blog itself. But also we want to talk about, okay, how do I really make a conscious effort to eat local? What does that mean?
Okay. Some ways you can do, we're very fortunate here in St. Louis to have lots of great farmers markets. It's kind of a fun event to go to some of these markets. The way you can find out, if you don't already know some of the places, is localharvest.org is a great website. Actually, that's a national website. You can type in your zip code and find out different farmers markets in your area, restaurants that feature local produce or local items. You can also find out if you are interested in a CSA subscription. They also feature those.
All right, you mentioned the CSA. Not all of us know what that is. What is a CSA?
CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture, and it's basically a subscription to, you're committing to a season with a particular farm, or sometimes it's many farms. It's a subscription of a weekly box of local items. So what you're doing is giving an insurance to that grower that you're committed to their growing season, and in return, you're getting their products.
That's a great way, because if you're not able to make it to some of the farmers markets around the area, then you know your produce is going to arrive
every week. Yeah, wow. Typically it's every week, and you get what you get. So if the kale is in there, you figure out what to do with it. Yeah. If the mustard greens are in there, you figure out what to do with it. Some of the CSA boxes are only produce. Others have local cheeses and eggs and meats and a mixture of things. It just depends on the particular CSA.
Does the Four Seasons here in Missouri make it difficult to eat local all the time? Yeah.
It does a little bit in the winter. It is a little bit more difficult, but some of the fall produce can be stored. They're very good storing vegetables, and you can eat them pretty far into the winter months. Of course, you've also got canning. A lot of the growers will can their products, so you also have that available.
When you talk about the CSA, what's a good way to find a CSA?
Again, I would recommend people go to localharvest.org and type in your zip code and all the places that are in your area. Their pickup times, all of the details are listed there.
Okay, so Elizabeth mentioned that, you know, if you subscribe to a CSA, you may be getting things that you've never cooked before and not know how to prepare them. And before the break, we were talking about a kumquat and kale salad, because kale can be something that you might get in a CSA delivery pretty frequently, but you may not have a lot of recipes for it. Enter Elizabeth, who has some great recipes on her blog to help you out with that. The kumquats, though, are a little harder to come by, not grown locally in the state of Missouri.
They're not.
So where do we find them?
Any place you grocery shop, really, you just got to look hard. It's a citrus, so when you're finding the grapefruit in season, all the other citrus, the little easy zip off, tiny little citrus, you'll find those too.
Really? So when we're talking about limes and lemons and stuff, we might find some kumquats in there.
Absolutely.
All right. The good thing is that because we have such an international population in St. Louis, I feel like that a lot of foods that might not be accessible all the time, we have great markets for them of those things.
We
do. Elizabeth also serves very part-time as a nutritionist for a local farmers market as well.
Yes.
Sappington Farmers Market, which
Correct.
is well known in the St. Louis area, has a long-standing reputation. Anything else? You mentioned quail eggs is coming up. I don't think that you just want everybody to stay tuned for the recipe that's going to be posted on the blog.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And I just featured yesterday, the post that I did was on a lemon rosemary cookie. Yeah. It's to die for. It's really good with local rosemary, also some whole wheat flour that was obtained locally. So.
Wow.
Really
ingredients that I didn't even think about being
really
local.
Good.
I mean, I grow my own rosemary, so I got that covered.
Right, that's some whole wheat flour too.
All right, check out the recipe on eatinglocalintheLou.blogspot.com, and also you can check out Elizabeth's small blurb in Cooking Light for May, right there on page 25 at the very bottom. So you can check it out. Thanks, Elizabeth, for joining us.
Thank you.
I really learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to doing some more cooking and eating locally here in St. Louis, especially as the summer months approach. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, though, very exciting, we're going to talk about Gitana Productions and their new production, Cecilia Nadal will be here. And remember to keep up with STL TV and all the great events going on around St. Louis. You can friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can always watch us streaming live on stltv.net. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.